What if the most beautiful Chevrolets were the ones you've never seen? Hidden prototypes, forgotten muscle icons, and rare paint-coated treasures, all crafted to stun but built in numbers so small they vanished into legend. Today, we reveal 10 masterpieces that prove beauty can be untouchable. Top 1, 1957, Chevrolet Corvette SS, Sebring prototype. Some cars are remembered for victories, others are remembered for beauty alone. The 1957 Chevrolet Corvette SS was a silver spear built for Sebring, a car so advanced it looked like it came from another planet, yet it never won a race. The body was magnesium stretched over a tubular frame, weighing just 1,850 pounds. Sleek curves and a pointed nose gave it the look of a missile, while a cut-down windscreen and fared-in headrests made it more fighter jet than road car. Inside, the cockpit told the truth. Spartan bucket seats, bare aluminum dash, exposed rivets, and no comfort. It was stripped for war on the track. Under the hood, engineers dropped in a fuel-injected 283 cubic inch V8 producing 307 horsepower. On paper, the SS could surpass 180 mph, an astonishing figure in 1957. But glory never arrived. At Sebring, mechanical failures crippled the car after just 23 laps. The lightweight body couldn't save it. The radical dream was undone by rushed execution. Only 2 chassis were built, one test mule, one Sebring prototype. Both became static icons, too fragile for the fight they were built to win. Locked away in museums, the Corvette SS endures as a symbol of ambition and failure intertwined. Yet hidden in its defeat was the DNA that would shape every Corvette after it, the pursuit of exotic beauty fused with racing blood. Its silver shell whispered of the future, but Chevrolet's imagination didn't stop there. In the 1960s, beauty would take on a new face, one so futuristic it looked less like a car and more like a vision from tomorrow. Top 2, 1963 Chevrolet Corvair Monza GT concept. Some Chevrolets looked like they belonged to science fiction. The 1963 Corvair Monza GT was one such apparition, a car so futuristic it felt stolen from the year 2000 and dropped into the early 60s. The Monza GT stood only 42 inches tall, its body flowing like liquid metal. A pointed nose, wraparound canopy glass, and jet-inspired rear vents gave it the aura of a spacecraft. There were no doors, instead the entire canopy lifted forward, letting the driver step in as though boarding a cockpit. Inside, twin bucket seats were molded into the fiberglass shell, the dashboard pushed forward with deep-set gauges, and padding was nearly absent. This was theater more than comfort. Underneath, Chevrolet mounted the Corvair's air-cooled flat-six engine behind the seats. Though producing only 152 horsepower, the lightweight fiberglass body and mid-engine layout promised agility unheard of in American design. But the Monza GT was never built for customers. It was a one-off concept, a rolling experiment shown at auto shows to shock the imagination. Its radical mid-engine balance and canopy design foreshadowed engineering ideas that would inspire the Corvette decades later. Only one example was created. Preserved in museums, it became proof that Chevrolet could rival Italian futurists. Though it never thundered down drag strips, it showed another kind of beauty. Daring, fearless innovation. The Monza GT wasn't powerful, it was prophetic. From futuristic vision, Chevrolet turned back to raw muscle. By the end of the decade, beauty would take the form of thunder. A Corvette built in secret with so much horsepower, only a handful would ever exist. Top 3, 1969 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1. Some cars weren't just rare, they were myths come to life. The 1969 Corvette ZL1 wasn't a package, it was a weapon disguised as fiberglass. A car so secret that most dealers never even knew it existed. On the surface, it looked like any other Corvette Stingray of the era. Long hood, muscular haunches, chrome bumpers framing a low-slung body. But inside the engine bay lurked something terrifying. The all-aluminum 427 cubic inch big block, coded ZL1. Rated at 430 horsepower, real output was closer to 550. Weighing 100 pounds less than an iron block L88, it transformed the Corvette into a ballistic missile. 0 to 60 came in about 4 seconds, with quarter-mile passes deep into the 11S. The interior offered the familiar Stingray layout, twin bucket seats, sweeping dash, and gauges crowding the driver's view. It was civilized in appearance, savage in nature. The catch? Almost no one could order it. The ZL1 was buried deep in Chevrolet's central office production order system, priced at nearly $10,000. 0 cents, double the cost of a standard Corvette. Officially, only 2 were built for customers in 1969, making it one of the rarest factory Chevrolets ever. Collectors now treat the ZL1 as a holy relic. Its aluminum heart was the pinnacle of GM's racing program, born from Can-Am technology. What Chevrolet quietly offered to a few brave buyers became a million-dollar treasure decades later. The car's beauty was in its deception, looking ordinary while hiding extraordinary power. But Chevrolet wasn't finished pushing boundaries. The same year, they unleashed another Phantom A Corvette that was lighter, rarer, and bred purely for racing glory. Its name would echo like a secret among insiders. Top 4, 1963, Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. Sometimes, beauty is born in rebellion. The 1963 Corvette Grand Sport wasn't a showroom car, it was an outlaw, a secret weapon built to crush Shelby Cobras before GM executives shut it down. The Grand Sport looked like a standard split-window 63 Stingray at first glance, but the details revealed its menace. The body was acid-dipped fiberglass, stretched tight over a lightweight tube frame, stripping weight to just 1,900 pounds. Bulging fenders housed massive racing tires, while side-exit exhausts screamed rebellion. Inside, the interior was stripped to the bone, thin bucket seats, bare floors, roll cage, and a race-ready dash with oversized tachometer. Comfort was sacrificed for war. Under the hood sat a 377 cubic inch small block V8, conservatively rated at 485 horsepower, but capable of much more with tuning. In a car this light, 0 to 60 times of 4.5 seconds and quarter-mile runs near 11 seconds were achievable. But corporate politics killed the dream. GM's ban on factory-backed racing forced Chevrolet to halt the project after only 5 Grand Sports were built. What was meant to be a fleet of 125 became a handful of ghosts smuggled into privateer hands. On the track, those 5 cars became legends. Drivers like Roger Penske and A.J. Foyt piloted them against Cobras, and though outnumbered, the Grand Sports proved brutally fast. Today, each surviving car is worth tens of millions, embodying Chevrolet's most daring moment of defiance. The Grand Sport showed that Chevrolet's beauty wasn't just in curves, it was in audacity. But when the 1970S arrived, the spotlight shifted back to the street, and Chevrolet unleashed a convertible so powerful it defined muscle car excess. Top 5, 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS454 LS6 convertible. Some cars didn't just represent muscle, they defined it. The 1970 Chevelle SS454 LS6 convertible was Chevrolet's Thunderbolt, a machine that turned raw horsepower into beauty on 4 wheels. The Chevelle's design was deceptively simple. A broad, sculpted hood with functional cowl induction scoop, squared-off fenders, and bold stripes announced its menace. The convertible version added an open-air freedom that made 450 horsepower feel even wilder. Inside, the cabin mixed muscle with comfort. Vinyl bucket seats, a horseshoe shifter on the console, round gauges set deep in the dash, and enough trim to feel refined while hinting at danger. Under the hood, the LS6 454 cubic inch V8 reigned supreme. Officially rated at 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque, its true numbers were higher. 0 to 60 came in about 5.4 seconds, with quarter miles in the low 13s, unheard of for a street car carrying full weight. But the convertible? That was the rarest form. Out of the roughly 4,475 LS6 Chevels built in 1970, fewer than 20 were convertibles. That made the topless LS6 not just powerful, but practically untouchable in rarity. Collectors now treat each LS6 convertible like gold. Values stretch into 7 figures, not just for the numbers but for the symbolism. The peak of the muscle car era, before insurance, emissions, and fuel crises clipped Detroit's wings. Its beauty wasn't delicate, it was brute force dressed in stripes and chrome. The LS6 convertible proved Chevrolet could balance style with overwhelming strength. But beauty would soon take another form. when Chevrolet packed exotic racing hardware into a Camaro body and unleashed one of the rarest pony cars ever built. Top 6, 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Some Chevrolets were born not from marketing, but from loopholes. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 was one of the most fearsome creations of the muscle car wars, an aluminum big block monster hidden inside a humble pony car shell. At first glance, the ZL1 looked like any other 69 Camaro. A long hood, crisp body lines, rally sport grille, and a no-nonsense stance gave it the classic pony car silhouette. Inside, buyers got a straightforward cabin. Vinyl bucket seats, round gauges, a console mount shifter, and just enough trim to feel sporty. Nothing screamed exotic until the hood lifted. There sat the ZL1 427 cubic inch all-aluminum big block V8, officially rated at 430 horsepower but capable of over 500 in tuned form. Lighter than iron, it gave the Camaro explosive acceleration. Magazine tests recorded 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds and quarter-mile times in the low 13s, making it one of the quickest street cars of its time. But the ZL1 wasn't built for the street, it was designed for drag racing. Chevrolet slipped it through the Central Office Production Order (COPO) system, making it available only to those who knew the secret code. The price was astronomical, nearly $7,200, 0 cents, double the cost of a standard Camaro. Only 69 were ever produced, cementing its rarity. Today, the Camaro ZL1 stands as one of the most collectible muscle cars on Earth. With its combination of rarity, power, and understated design, it embodies Chevrolet's most brilliant use of the COPO system. Auction values soar well into 7 figures. Yet Chevrolet's beauty wasn't always wrapped in raw aggression. A year earlier, the Impala wore elegance like gold, proving muscle and refinement could live in the same body. Top 7, 1964 Chevrolet Impala SS Hardtop Goldwood Yellow. Some Chevrolets didn't roar to greatness through horsepower alone, they stunned with presence. The 1964 Impala SS in Goldwood Yellow was one such jewel, a rolling showcase of elegance blended with muscle. The Impala SS Hardtop draped itself in smooth, flowing lines. Its roofline was long and graceful, its flanks highlighted by chrome accents, and the rare Goldwood Yellow paint made it stand apart from the sea of reds, blacks, and silvers. Inside, Chevrolet gave buyers a proper luxury sport cabin, bucket seats with patterned vinyl, center console with floor shifter, deep dish steering wheel, and a dash lined with bright trim and round gauges. Beneath the glamour, muscle lurked. Buyers could order the mighty 409 cubic inch V8, producing up to 425 horsepower. With a 4-speed manual, the SS could sprint to 60 mph in around 6.5 seconds, respectable speed for a full-size car weighing over 3,700 pounds. But the Goldwood Yellow version? That was nearly unseen. Fewer than 200 Impala SS models were finished in this striking hue, making it one of the rarest paint and performance combinations of the early 60s. Collectors now prize these golden Impalas as rolling treasures. They embody a time when Chevrolet proved muscle cars didn't have to sacrifice elegance. The combination of rarity, color, and performance has driven values into 6 figures for pristine survivors. Beauty here wasn't loud, it was luminous. But Chevrolet's beauty wasn't confined to luxury muscle. Just a year earlier, the company unleashed an Impala that was pure menace, packing an engine so brutal it made the full-size coupe feel like a street-legal dragster. Top 8 1961 Chevrolet Impala SS 409 Early Build. Every legend starts somewhere. For Chevrolet's muscle car dynasty, the spark was the 1961 Impala SS 409, a full-size coupe that turned family car lines into quarter-mile thunder. The 1961 Impala carried crisp, squared styling, a wide grille, sharp fender creases, and a sloping roofline. In supersport trim, subtle badging and spinner wheel covers hinted at performance. Step inside, and the SS delivered sporty touches: bucket seats, engine-turned dash trim, console-mounted shifter, and an upscale steering wheel. But the real beauty lived under the hood. The new 409 cubic inch big block V8 produced 360 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual. This was the first Chevrolet to live up to the phrase, "She's real fine, my 409. 0 to 60 came in about 7 seconds, with the quarter mile in the low 15s, a shocking figure for a full-size coupe in 1961. But the earliest SS 409s were barely built. Out of over 491,000 Impalas produced that year, fewer than 150 left the factory as genuine SS models, with the 409 option. That scarcity made the earliest cars instant rarities, almost prototypes in disguise. Collectors view the 61 SS409 as the cornerstone of Chevrolet's muscle era. Without it, the Chevelle SS, Camaro Z28, and Corvette big blocks might never have followed. Survivors command staggering prices, their beauty lying not just in design, but in the beginning of a legend. But Chevrolet wasn't finished refining muscle. A decade later, they would channel brute force into sophistication, creating a Monte Carlo that fused elegance with a big block heart. Top 9. The 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS 454. Some cars wore muscle under a tuxedo. The 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS 454 was that contradiction, part gentleman's coupe, part street brawler, a car that redefined what beauty could mean in the muscle era. The Monte Carlo's long hood and short deck design echoed luxury coupes, with a formal roofline, hidden wipers, and a refined grille framed in chrome. In SS 454 trim, subtle badging and rally wheels hinted at the storm beneath the calm. Step inside and the Monte Carlo spoiled its driver. Wood-grain dash, padded vinyl seats, air conditioning, and full instrumentation, yet behind the comfort lurked firepower. Under the hood sat the 454 cubic inch LS5 V8, rated at 365 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a turbo-hydromatic automatic, the Monte Carlo SS could push from 0 to 60 in about 6.7 seconds, with quarter-mile times in the high 14s quick for a car tipping the scales at nearly 4,000 pounds. Despite its presence, the Monte Carlo SS 454 was rare. Out of more than 128,000 Monte Carlos built in 1971, only 1,919 carried the SS 454 package. That scarcity transformed what could have been a common personal luxury coupe into a low-volume muscle legend. Today, the Monte Carlo SS 454 is admired for balancing refinement and strength. Collectors praise it as the high point of Chevrolet's personal luxury lineup, a car where beauty came not just from chrome and lines, but from the dual identity of elegance and brute force. But Chevrolet's beauty wasn't confined to coupes. Even the wagons and nomads of the 50S carried grace, and one particular Bel Air turned utility into art, becoming a rolling sculpture that still mesmerizes decades later. Top 10 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air Nomad. Sometimes beauty hides in practicality. The 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air Nomad was a station wagon, but it wasn't built for groceries. It was built to turn utility into elegance. The Nomad wore the face of the Bel Air, with chrome-laden grille, hooded headlights, and sweeping side trim. But its two-door wagon body set it apart. The sloping roofline and ribbed tailgate gave it proportions that no other wagon dared attempt. Painted in bold two-tone colors with polished chrome, it had the flash of a convertible dressed as a family car. Inside, the Nomad offered bench seating wrapped in vinyl, patterned door panels, and a cargo area that blended practicality with flair. Under the hood, buyers could choose the 265 cubic inch small block V8, producing up to 205 horsepower. It wasn't a drag strip killer, but with a Powerglide automatic or 3-speed manual, it carried style with surprising speed for a wagon. Despite its looks, the Nomad never sold well. Wagons were expected to be boxy and cheap, not stylish and expensive. Only about 7,886 were built in 1956, making it one of the lowest production Chevrolets of the era. Collectors now treasure the 56 Nomad as the crown jewel of Chevrolet's Tri-5 wagons. Its rarity, design, and cultural imprint have elevated it from oddity to icon. Restored examples command six-figure prices, not for performance, but for unmatched beauty in a class never meant to be glamorous. The Bel Air Nomad closed an era where even wagons could dazzle. Its beauty didn't need drag strip times or exotic engines. It proved that Chevrolet could make even the most ordinary body style unforgettable. From silver prototypes to golden Impalas, these Chevrolets showed us that beauty isn't just about speed, it's about rarity, design, and the stories etched into every curve. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, And if you love uncovering lost legends, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, and join us here on Legendary Classic Cars for more timeless icons.